Wait. The prom is cherry blossom themed. I can't do this. Hello friends and book babes, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reading sad books for 24 hours. In February I did a reading popular books for 24 hours video. Why don't I just do sad books for 24 hours? Now this time I will take a break to go to bed. I'll stop the timer for that, but other than that I will be reading pretty much non-stop other than to sleep. So I have Pack Up the Moon, as well as If You Had Been With Me. These are on my physical TBR for the month, and so I would like to get through these. This one is YA, while this one is pretty much a man reading his dying wife's letters after she dies. So this is gonna hurt. I have no idea what this one's about actually, but I have a somewhat of an inkling of what it might be just because of how people react to this one. I'm excited to go into this blind, but also somewhat knowing, maybe, possibly having my suspicions, I guess. And then also on Kindle Unlimited, I have 1,000 Boy Kisses that I would like to read. I know literally nothing about this book other than there's YA and that people cry. So I'm excited for that. Just wanted to show you guys real quick that I finally got some black ink erasable pens, because the aesthetic of just black ink for my annotations is so much better to me than the colorful pen markings and stuff. I still use colorful like highlighters and stuff, but I just like the black pen, you know. And this is on my Amazon storefront in book accessories, I believe. If you want to check it out, it should be linked down below. But I do plan on annotating these, so they might take a little bit more time, but it is what it is. I think the first book we're gonna do Pack Up the Moon, just because I've had this book longer, especially since I already know what this one is about. I just want to get through it and maybe cry, maybe I won't, who knows. So I just stopped at chapter 10. I'm almost 100 pages in. And if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I've been skimming a little bit. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what it is about this book, but I just don't care. They're alluding to who he might get with when his grieving process is done and he finds love again and stuff. They're alluding to who it might be, and I don't want it to be that person, because that person knew the wife before, and I hate that. I hate that so much. It gives me the ick for real, okay? I don't like it at all, because all I'll think about is, if she was still alive, would y'all have crossed the line? You know what I mean? I think Kristen is trying to negate that thought by having Josh, the husband, having him in his like inner monologue be like, ugh, I would kill her right now if that meant I could have my wife. So then like like, I get what you're trying to do. I really get it. I get that you're trying to show like if his wife was alive he would never, but also if like he ends up with this girl,
bombastic side eye,
like the thoughts he is having about this girl are so like disrespectful that it's like, okay, I don't want you with this girl in general, because
criminal offensive side eye.
not caring about the book that much, which sucks. But I actually put on a playlist for this book, and this is the second time I've ever listened to a playlist while reading, because I was always the type that was like, oh, I can't pay attention if like the music has words in it. I'm gonna listen to anything, it has to be like instrumental and stuff, or otherwise I'm not gonna be able to pay attention very well. But then for some reason I was so inclined to listen to a playlist when I read the first Throne of Glass series, and I actually like got used to it fairly quickly. Probably like a good 10-15 minutes into the playlist, I was reading like normal. And honestly, this playlist is the saving grace of this reading experience right now, because there are moments when a song will play that I really love, and it will just put into perspective like how the character is feeling right now, even if I don't necessarily care and feel for them that hard. The songs in the playlist is helping me feel the way I need to feel for these characters. So if I didn't have this playlist, I don't even know if I would finish this book, to be honest with you. But the playlist goes hard. I love me a depression session, okay? I love a sad song. So if you've never listened to a playlist, like I had never listened to a playlist while reading, I highly recommend it, because you just need to like train yourself to be able to do it, and it really does change the reading experience. And from doing this, I've also found songs that I have always loved but never knew who sang it or whatever, or just new songs in general that I had never heard of. So it's a really good way to open your horizons to new music, and then also have a really good reading experience, even if you're not liking the book that much. So all that to say, I highly recommend. I really like the concept. I think there's a movie with the same concept, but like the genders are reversed or something. I think I might have to watch the movie, because I might like the movie a little bit more. But I really like the concept, and I might steal it for... Is that morbid? When the time comes, I'm gonna steal this idea for when I die or whatever. Not everything I think needs to be said out loud, I guess. I don't care if you have her blessing. It's still weird. I don't like it. Find someone else that your wife has never met a day in her life. Like, just because he hates her right now doesn't mean he wouldn't cross the line eventually. Enemies to lovers is like the best trope. So you can't. Like right now, I'm shipping him with this random girl he met at a vet, at the vet office, who had this old ass dog and was sad. I don't like this. I'm not liking this. I don't like it at all. I'm not. I was gonna say, I'm almost halfway done. No, I'm not. Oh my god. I might get. How am I not halfway done? That was the most tragic thing I've ever seen. The fact that I know the end is playing while I'm reading chapter 35 is making this hit harder for sure. Oh my gosh. This playlist is not playing Happiness by Taylor Swift right now. I can't do this. Stop it. I'm convinced that if I wasn't listening to this playlist right now, I wouldn't be reacting this way. Takes my spot next to you. There'll be happiness after me, but there was happiness because of me. All of these things I need happiness. This is the worst thing you could have ever done to me. Done. It's like 30 pages were actually really, really nice. And other than that, all I'll say is I'm always right. Listening to a playlist for this book specifically was the way to go. 35, the chapter 35 is when we get like the actual day of her death. Like actually we're there in that time. If Happiness and the Phoebe Bridgers song weren't playing while I was reading that chapter, it was like I was an emotional wreck because of those songs playing while I was reading that chapter. You know what I mean? So the playlist is the highlight of this book. I think I'll give it a 3-star, maybe. If I wasn't listening to the playlist, I'd probably give it like a 2.5, I'm not gonna lie. But the experience I was having because of that playlist, I'll give it a 3. You know, I'll round it. You know, I'm feeling generous. I'll round it to a 3. It did make me cry.
I go ahead and start If He Had Been With Me next. Like I said, I know nothing about what this is about, but I do have my theories of what it is. And this is YA. So, and the font is pretty big, so I might be able to finish it relatively quickly, even though it's almost 400 pages. So, we're gonna get into it.
It's time to prepare, everyone. I'm on chapter 84. What is going on? Wait. What? What? I can't even fathom what star rating to give this right now, but the ending was so rushed and so abrupt that I couldn't even feel anything for it. So, yeah, I didn't like it. It was just so rushed, and for you to be almost 400 pages and have only had Finney show up more predominantly in the story for like the last 80 pages and it to end so abruptly, outrageous. Honestly, outrageous. Okay, I don't know. This is the second book in this video where I feel like it could have been shorter. I feel like we spent so much time without Finney that, like, the way I feel for them, the way I'm supposed to feel for them and feel for this, it's not as hard as it should be. So I would have preferred, like, just straight up 300 on the dot. And we got to see more of Finney. And that's it, you know? I don't know. A lot of the middle was a drag to me. I didn't cry, as you saw. I feel like I didn't even get a chance to cry, to be honest, because it was so abrupt and so short. But when the other point of view comes out, I probably will still read it. So, yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna give this one, like, honestly, like a 2.5. Yeah. These sad books have not been hitting. I feel like if I had read it in spurts, like maybe within the week instead of in this one day, I think maybe I would have liked it more. So I think that was the issue. And I also think if I had listened to it, I might have liked it more. I think audiobook for this might have been the way to go, or if I had just read this slower and not in one sitting. Weird about books is, like, everything affects how you feel about that book. You know, what was your mental headspace at the time? Did you use the correct way to read it for yourself to really like it? Like, how long did you take to read it? Did you take enough breaks? Were you in the right mental space? Were you in a slump? Like, so many things go into your opinion of a book or even like a show. It's kind of wild. But anyways, I'm gonna take a little break and then we're gonna start 1,000 Boy Kisses.
My heart already wants to burst, and I just finished chapter 1. What? What the heck, bro? They're so cute already. And so now I'm scared for why this book is sad. I'm scared. And then also chapter 1, I didn't expect it to already be sad, you know. I'm already kind of sad that I don't have the physical copy because I feel like this is the one. I feel like out of all these books I've read, this one is gonna be the one. Oh my god. I just got to the reveal for the end of chapter 7. Oh my god. I really thought it wasn't that. Oh my god. No. Now I'm mad because going into this, since I knew nothing about it, I had like just a random assumption of why it was sad or whatever. I was kind of scared for it, but then this new like plot came into play or whatever, and there was like kind of like a mystery type of thing happening, and I was really liking the story, and now I just found out the reveal. And I thought I was escaping what my initial thought was. I really started to think it wasn't my original assumption. Oh gosh. Oh no. I don't know if I can handle this. I was happy that I was finally enjoying a book in this freaking blog so I could stop looking like such a little negative Nancy. It low-key does give me like Wattpad vibes, but like in a good way, not a bad way. It gives me like the nostalgia of like reading a Wattpad book. It's giving what it needs to give with the Wattpadness of it all. So
remember all the things we wanted, all the memories that haunted. Fist held high, it never would have worked out right.
they did not just play Already Gone, but Sleeping at Last cover. I can't do this.
It started with the perfect kiss. We could feel the poison sin. Perfect couldn't keep this love alive.
Another thing that makes me so sad is his relationship with his family. It's just so sad and heartbreaking. And I'm like, you better be nice to Alton. So that makes me want to cry. Everything in this book makes me want to cry. Okay? There's happy moments, there's cute moments, but every part of it just makes me want to combust. The prom is cherry blossom themed. I'm proud of you too. The thousandth heart. The thousandth heart. You are not playing this song right now. Papa. Papa. You are like Papa. I've still never seen Stranger Things, but I know that. You are like Papa. But also Papa. No. The jar. The Chinese lanterns. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I saved this book for last. I saved it for last mainly because it was on a Kindle, and I was like, I'll probably be more in a mood for like a ebook type of situation towards the end. But oh my gosh, I'm literally gonna run to Amazon and get the physical copy at 22 hours and 25 minutes. And I don't have another book that's sad. Number one. Number two, I don't think I could finish a book in less than 2 hours. So that's gonna be the end of the books. 1,000 Boy Kisses. Oh my gosh. So what do I even say? Honestly, 5 stars. Is that wild of me to say? This video went from having books that I hated to literally finding a 5-star. And I love that for me. But oh my gosh. First of all, on Kindle at least, it says it's less than 300 pages. So maybe the other books should take some note on that. The fact that like in the middle of the epilogue before like what happened is revealed in the epilogue specifically, I felt this sense of like, even though this is sad, it's okay, you know? Everything's fine. And there's still hope, and there's still this, and there's still that. And so I don't know how the author did that with something so sad. There was like a sense of peace even before what was revealed in the epilogue got revealed, and so I appreciate that. And then with what was revealed in the epilogue, my only complaint, I loved that happened. Well, I don't know. I wish we just got a little bit more detail as to what exactly happened. It was kind of brushed off pretty like abruptly. Just so happy for them. They're not even real, but I'm so happy for them. That book was so good, guys. I'm like about to cry just thinking about it. It was so good.
So first I read Pack Up the Moon, and I think originally I said I'd give it 3 stars, but after thinking a little bit more about it, I think I'm gonna give it 2. Because truly the only reason I gave it 3 stars was because of that moment of the end when the wife does die, and we read that scene, and the songs that were playing while I was reading that scene just made it hit so much harder. And so I feel like for me, I should just Venmo the freaking person that made that playlist because they carried that on their back, okay? Because this book was not it for me. So I think I'm going to put it down to a 2-star, mainly because the last 30 pages were pretty much all that I liked, and it dragged so much. Like, I get the purpose of it is to go through the grief process with him, but truly it did not have to be as long as it was. Being like 450 pages is honestly outrageous for what I like remember of this book. There was no need for that. I think it could have totally been like 250 to 300 pages max, to be honest with you. I really loved her letters to her husband, and also like the moments reading about like when she found out she was sick and all of those things. I liked those moments. Glad it ended the way it did, and I'm happy, but also all of that dragging just to not give the people what they want. I was satisfied, but also I could have had a few more chapters of like what his love life was like afterwards, you know? Like, I would have loved to see him go on his first date with the person and see if he had a great time the whole time, or if he like ended up crying, screaming, crying, throwing up in the bathroom about it, or things like that, you know? Like, I think I would have loved to see more of his relationship progress in the end, instead of just kind of like oh, so this is what happened or whatever. So I would have enjoyed that. So even though it was so thick and dragged so much, it didn't drag enough for what we actually wanted, I think, or at least what I wanted, you know? Out of these two, I would definitely reread this one more if you had been with me. So there are moments when I really like the writing style, but also this was also a very big drag too. This one's almost 400 pages, so it's small. It's shorter than Pack Up the Moon, and the font is kind of deceiving. It makes you think that it'll be shorter than it is. I don't know. I just was struggling so hard to read this book. I didn't enjoy it for most of it, and I think it's because Finney was hardly in it, you know? And so I think that's why when his book comes out, I'm actually going to probably like that one more, because Finney wasn't in it as much, and he was the reason I started to really like the book. The majority of the book I wasn't a fan of, and I also am not a big fan of abrupt endings, because this one has the most abrupt ending to ever exist. I think it was like shocking how abrupt this ending was, and I don't know, I just didn't like how abrupt it was for the book to also be almost 400 pages. If you were going to be an abrupt ending, you better be like novella size, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with the 2.5 stars. Wasn't my favorite. Didn't even cry to this one. 1,000 Boy Kisses. That one, as you guys saw, I was crying so much. I was crying like every other chapter to that book. And because of that, I'm giving it 5 stars. It might be too much for some of you. You might not like it as much if you don't like sad books, but I really enjoy sad books, which is why I was excited to do this video. But then only one of the books out of the 3 was books I liked. So there's that. But yeah, I definitely want to own the physical one. It is cheesy. If you don't like cheesy books, you're not gonna like this one. Just like really cute romances and stuff. Cuteness overload would make you want to cry. The sad parts would make you want to cry. Everything just made you want to cry in this book, whether it was happy or sad. You just wanted to cry the whole time. My only complaint was how we don't really get any detail of the reveal that happens in the epilogue. But after watching Larry Reed's reading vlog for this book, she actually Googled it because she's smart and I am not, and she found out like what details were behind it, and so I'm glad I get to know. She said it was bittersweet. It's a bittersweet book, and I think that's the best way to sum it up. Books like that, I just had to give it a 5 star. I don't really have any complaints for A Thousand Boy Kisses, to be honest with you. The writing style, it was kind of like kiddish and cheesy, and like I said, reminded me of Wattpad, but I, for some reason, liked it. You know, it gave that nostalgia of when I was like 14 and I would like find a book on my phone on Wattpad and I'd read it all night, and so like it brought me back to that time, and it was just really fun. I don't know, since we ended this video on a high note, I enjoyed making this video. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well, and comment down below any other genres you'd like me to do this with. If you made it to the end of this video, let's comment the broken heart emoji, unless there's a burst heart emoji. I don't think there is. Comment a heart emoji, whatever heart you want. I don't really care. But comment a heart emoji, and thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, follow me on my socials, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Meet me under street lights. Meet me where the lights fade out. Tell me what it feels like